Hi, in this episode we explore the most southeastern island of the Azores, Santa Maria, and we prepare for our longest passage. Welcome to Sailing Free to Visby.
We have quit our working life to see the world from our sailboat, and we want to bring you with us.
Collect lots of memories and fun experiences and memorable moments like this. Let's take a look at how our trip during our first 2 years of cruises has been. We hope to put many more miles under the key.
My name is Anders.
I am Gita, and this is Litsa, the truly free spirit on board.
Let's take a look at Villa Porto in Santa Maria from the air. We started the video by setting up a drone in the air and have a look at the two body boats and the marina. The next day I take a walk in the village and get to see a local fishing competition. There's two ways to get up to the village from the marina. Either you follow the car road or take this old road as I did.
That's the other way up. It's a bit longer but not as steep as the one I took. As you can see down there, going in a serpentine down. I think that was the start signal for the fishing competition. There's a few small boats and sailboats. Here they go. All going out. Speeding to get the best spot. It wasn't the best spot to see the start. Ready to defend their island, a little island.
200 years the inhabitants of Santa Maria lived in a constant fear of privateers plundering the island, so the sight of sails would actually cause a lot of stress and anxiety.
Continue to explore the village here. This little fort was cute to see and had a magnificent view.
You can see on the houses how steep the climb from the marina to the village is.
Den är så jättedyr så du måste ju hålla i den. Går den att dricka också? Salud! 2 euros for 2 beers. And a great view over the marina.
It feels a little special to do a kayak tour in the middle of the Atlantic. Wow, I found a small cave and of course I can't resist going in. And luckily my Archeon kayak is very durable and has no fragile rudder. relishing going out here because there's a storm to the right and the sea is quite confused. That was fun. Look carefully in the water and you will see a clear and pink organism. That's a Portuguese man of war. They are actually a colony of 4 different species living together in symbiosis, and they have a very painful sting, but it's extremely beautiful. From the kayak I could see that the waterline was pretty dirty, so I started a cleaning project. And now we will take a look below the waterline, and the inspection of the bottom shows a little bit of growth, but not terribly much. And the newly painted prop looks even better. Let's follow the captain on duty.
Vad sitter du där för? Vill du inte kolla på fiskarna? No, du fin.
We had a lovely evening, but now it's time to say goodnight so we can be fresh in the morning. Because the next day we have planned to drive around the island. The morning mist made the island look all mystical and magical.
Titta ut över havet utan faktiskt sitta och titta på land. Fast man är på land.
Normally we say that when we're on land we look at the water, and when sailing we look at land.
This is the view they are looking at. And it's not bad.
Det gör det kanske.
Jag kan tänka mig att det dimmar ganska ofta.
Ja. Det gäller kanske att ha växter som kan ta upp fukt från luften också. Inte bara...
Jag skulle gissa på att stenarna kanske också får dimman att kondensera.
Då rinner det längs med.
After the coffee break we continue towards a spectacular waterfall. While Anders stayed looking at the ducks, I followed Lotta and Magnus over the slippery stones to get closer to the waterfall. This stunning and beautiful waterfall, Cascata do Aveiro, has two major jumps and a total height of 120 meters, and is almost straight down. It was amazing to standing below it, and I was a bit tempted to take a swim in the pool below, but I knew the others were waiting, and it would probably be quite cold anyway.
This is a really cool place. I just love the waterfalls, and it's really high and it's so green all around. So if you have the possibilities to go today, just do it.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And remember the little bell button to get notifications.
There's a lighthouse up there, and just a minute ago it was clear, and now you can't see it at all. That's the lighthouse. This is what this place looks like when it's not foggy. Few sandy beaches. This seems to be the restaurants. Wow! Look at this! So beautiful! If it's a stairway to heaven, but it sure goes up.
It's 150 steps up to Lady Fatima's chapel, and Magnus volunteered to check it out. The next day we made another trip around the island, and this time we visit Pico Alto. But first, a little visit to a cave.
Nice. And spider webs. Quite a lot of. Cool. Really cool place.
Now we get to Pico Alto at Santa Maria. Pico Alto is the highest point on the island, 587 meters above sea level. It's also the crash site for Portugal's worst aircraft accidents. It happened in 1989 and 144 lives were lost. Santa Maria is 97.4 square kilometers and geologically the oldest of the Azorian islands, about 8.12 million years.
Wow.
Large part of the island is natural reserve and has many walking and hiking paths. And from up here at the peak you can see it all. Next up, Ribeira de Molas. I'm so amazed to see flowers that would be very expensive in Sweden grow wild.
On our way to another waterfall. We're not quite sure where it is, and we have parked the car, but we're following this red dirt road. It's lovely. I absolutely love the Azores, and Santa Maria Island is probably one of the cutest. Vi skickar ner en springare här och kollar läget liksom. Ja, här var det lite trickigt, men nu ser det bättre ut igen. Hej du kan!
Ja, här är det inga problem.
Jag vill kolla på den här. And here the rail ends. But it is far down if you fall.
Don't fall.
No. That's the advice. Okay, don't fall. Okay. I will go up. Don't fall. This is cool. I think that's the lighthouse that was in fog yesterday.
This island is so small that if you see something which is a little different, then it must be the same place.
I would have liked this one to be a little higher. Oh, there is the waterfall. We are above it. It's there.
It's nice, but it's really high, so I keep well away from the edge of the
Those
cliff.
vertical cliffs are the attraction.
Afraid at all?
No, they just walk there. It's an amazing place. Look at those cliffs.
Very flat. So this must be lava.
This must be lava, yeah. I wonder why it goes like straight down.
There on
The strange basalt formation is a result of the contact of the sea with the lava flow. It is a part of a waterfall that stands approximately 20 meters high. This little walk is beautiful, but with a few tricky places, but generally quite easy. But it's close to the edge and therefore maybe not so suitable if you have a fear of heights.
Fyren, ja. I wonder if that guy in that house likes people or not. We found a restaurant. It's maybe not best culinary food, but the view is great, absolutely great. This is Praia Formosa, one of the sandy beaches here at Santa Maria Island, which is very unusual at the Azores.
Before we leave the car, we go to a supermarket to buy some food for our long passage back to the mainland. But look how pretty they arrange the fish. And the marina is even more beautiful at night, isn't it? Preparation for our longest passage so far.
This is preparation for going back to the mainland has begun. And that means making meatballs. So the biggest risk with making those meatballs ahead of the passage is actually that Anders will eat them. So I used to hide them deep in the freezer. Anders has bought a goodie bag for himself. Happy birthday, darling. It's soon your birthday.
Now I've spent money for at least 3 birthdays.
No, you deserved it. But you have to catch me some fish now.
Ja. Det här är nu då PVG. Predict Winds. Ena. Av, jag vet inte, var ett dygn.
Mm.
Där är motor.
Där är motor. Brum, brum,
Så är det
brum, brum.
segling igen.
Ja, den där är ju inte omöjlig. Framförallt om de signalerar att det lugnar sig lite. 25-30, det är lite mycket. På utsidan, det var lite halt.
Ja!
Så han halkade ner där.
Han
men
halkade ner där och
han fick
lyckades
tag
få
i
rätt.
livlina hos på eran Sverige.
Tam poster du va?
Ja. Engine check. We have been running the motor quite a lot. So Anders is checking that everything is all right before we are going to head back to the mainland. Looks.
It's a little though, but not a lot. We may feel a little, like half a liter or something like that. It's not bad.
That's good.
Yeah.
And that means that we are taking the dinghy down. So Anders is taking out the air. It is raining and I'm on my way to do some provisioning before we do our long passage from Santa Maria Island to Lagos. I'm cooking a dinner. We're going to grill the last evening on the Azores.
Departure. The long passage starts.
Tintamara is leaving a little bit before. See you in Lagos!
See you in Lagos!
Now I've been and disposed of the garbage, so now we only need to lift up the kayak on deck, or into its kayak holder rather, and then we are good to go. We say goodbye Santa Maria and goodbye to the Azores for this time. What's the weather forecast?
The weather forecast is okay. It looks okay. We're going beam reach. Oh, yeah, beam reach for 2 days.
Okay.
With the waves a little against us. But everything seems to be okay. We'll see what happens when we come out there.
Yeah, great. You also say goodbye to Santa Maria, huh? Elisa. This is going to be your longest sail so far. 900 nautical miles, Lisa. Yeah. And she's tired. Of course, she doesn't have her vest on, but she doesn't like it. So she actually prefers this way. I have already taken the water out because it was actually a bit sweaty to get out of the harbor because it was really warm today. So you shouldn't complain about it, but taking the lines and taking the fenders when it's quite warm, that's a sweaty job. And here you can see those beautiful green hills. And I don't know if Anders wants to hoist the sail right away or... Yeah. Okay, then I put the camera away. We go for the tip. First. Over there is a lighthouse that I tried to film, but it was too foggy. Anders says it's wise to eat now, because when we come around the corner of the island, we will meet the seas. It's with mixed feelings. We are leaving the Azores. It is a very beautiful place, but it's also feeling good to come back to Lagos, and then we will fly to Sweden and work at the hostel for a couple of months. We're trying to turn off the engine, see if we can go along the sides. Have the wind almost straight against us. They are very close to the cliffs. I don't know if they are sailing or motor sailing. We are sailing here, and there is a lot of seabirds. They are brown on the back and the wings and white underneath, and they seem to love us at the moment. They are all over the place. So, Anders has just killed the engine. Quiet, nice and quiet. And we hope that we can sail most of the way to Lagos. Look at those birds. And they barely lift until we are almost running them over.
Now we have 6 days of blue water sailing ahead. But more of that in the next episode. Thank you for watching.